Day 9. My hair's a mess in the other video as well, but that's fine. Today was quite a good day. I went to the International Balkan University to meet a professor there. We had a nice long chat over some coffee about my research, my project, excuse me. It was very helpful because he kind of put everything together in my mind. So far I have Greece, I have Macedonia, and then next is Turkey, and then Armenia and India. So with Macedonia, I'm getting a sense that there's self-confidence, but other countries are trying to tell them, or the nationalities are trying to get them to change certain things, and so they're digging in their heels because they know who they are, and there's nothing that can change that. Boom. Yesterday, the new president actually said Macedonia, not North Macedonia, and the Greek ambassador walked out, right? So, and she just got elected, right? So in her inaugural speech, this happened. So it's kind of like not really a scandal. I don't know what would you call that, but when it comes to getting into the European Union, I think that's gonna, this just open a whole can of worms. Which, I mean, it depends on your opinion of the EU. I happen to think that the EU needs to scale back regarding its currency and its political regulations. I think, as a currency union, I don't think it works well. And, what's wrong with free trade? Just keeping a free trade union, right? A free trade area, and a free movement of people too, because that's what people want. People want to move freely. And I just met somebody from Sweden. She's here, just hanging out. So people from high income countries will come here to settle. And if there's somebody needs to get a job, or if they're looking for work, they can go to another country. And then that's kind of how globalization works. Currency unions are difficult because the cost of living can be different in other places, and so exports are gonna be quite difficult to buy if your currency is pegged to a much larger country like Germany. Germany has a greater ability to purchase products on the international market. They have a larger, what do you call it? They have economies of scale, right? So I mean that whatever. I'm going on a tangent. But yeah, that's Macedonia. Now, my thoughts, because the conversation with the professor at the International Balkans University, was very heavily centered on the Ottoman Empire and the Ottoman experience. And speaking of which, this is Iran. Iran is a drink. It's like a yogurt, a salty yogurt, so you got to shake it up really well, because if you don't, then all the good stuff is on the bottom, and you get a lot of water on the top. So you really do need to shake this well. And it comes from, I guess it comes from the Middle East or Turkey. I don't know, but I found it surprising that it was here. So it says Kosovo. So this could be from Kosovo, although it says Northern Macedonia here. It's kind of hard to say. I don't. My Macedonian is very, very rusty, right? So anyway, so the Ottoman Empire is like a great, an empire that brings everything to the center, right? So if it's going to be in, Ottoman Empire from Greece all the way down to like North Africa and the Arabias and parts of Persia, and so it's going to be a behemoth, and the great things of one place will make it to another place. Oh, it smells lovely. Oh, I should really show you what this looks like, but I'm going to give it another shake. So my hypothesis is that Turkey, the Greek experience is one of trauma. And so that's why I think a lot of their food is marked out by the places that Greeks used to be. A little water was in here. So check this out. See, it's like a milk, but it's not. It is yogurt, right? So you can make this at home if you want. Just take some yogurt, add some salt, and then some water. Shake it around, shake well, blend, I don't know. And you get this. And as a lactose intolerant person, I hope this sits well with me. For some reason, yogurt, cheese, I'm okay with that. But when I drink milk, it's a different story. So, like I was saying, I'm gonna have some more. All the good stuff of the different parts of the empire will definitely meet in the core and then be distributed to the rest of the empire, right? So the Ottomans, or when they go to Turkey, I think the hypothesis is that since they won in 1922, since they held on to a lot of their territory, there was some population, some migration, some from Bulgaria and from Greece and all different parts of the European. I think 60% of Muslims from Europe after Turkey was the Ottomans were kicked out of the Balkans. I think 60% went to Turkey, what is now today Turkey, right? That is scrumdiddlyumptious. So I don't think Turkey's going to have this like, oh, we were here sort of mindset or victim. I don't want to say victim mentality, but to be the how the food is constructed in Greece is just as a reminder of the past before 1922. And even in certain restaurants, you can see entire murals to the tragedy of 1922 for the Greeks. So we had a nice long chat over coffee, the professor and I from the International Balkans University. And I get the sense that Turkey is going to be cosmopolitan. It's going to be quite liberal in its interpretation of international relations. And I think it's because of their power capacity, their prestige historically. And they're like, I don't see any humiliations in the recent history. I mean, yeah, they're known, the Ottomans were known as a sick man of Europe, but they held on for a long time, right? A long time. So I don't know, we'll have to see how that counts. And, I kind of consider Ataturk to be like a larger than life character because he managed to pull Turkey from the brink of absolute destruction. I mean, country had French troops, Greek troops, Armenian troops, like everywhere. The whole place is completely, occupied after World War One, and it's just interesting to see how, like, Ataturk and his, leadership basically redeemed or saved. It's like, the emperor. My favorite emperor is Aurelian from the Roman Empire. And he basically pulled Rome from the brink. And so Ataturk is sort of like that, larger than life character. And I think that's why he's still well respected. I expect that there's going to be Ataturk pictures and statues. And apparently his signature will be everywhere. And so we're going to keep our eye out on that. Like, I think I have 4 days in Macedonia, but I'm already thinking about my next trip. So that's going to be, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I'm going to miss Macedonia. I'll tell you, excuse me. I remember my first interview, I said Macedonia, and my first interview was somebody from Greece. And they said, he or she said, well, first of all, let's refer to the country by the official name. Because I said Macedonia, she said, North Macedonia. But by the way, that's not important. It's funny, like, nobody wants to claim that they're a nationalist. But the moment you start talking about food, it's a different story, completely, right? national identity is still important, and national identity is part of nationalism. So it's important for us to underscore that. And as we keep our eyes open at the different possibilities, we have to pay attention. Anyway, after the interview with the fellow from, not interview, it was more like a talk. I didn't interview him. I didn't ask any questions. We just chatted. After that, I went down to the old bazaar because I was determined to get some kokoretsi. That's what the Greeks say. The Turkish call it something else. The Albanians call it something else. My phone is charging, but I'm gonna go take a picture. I'll show you. So when I was there, this Albanian gentleman really took really good care of me. He sat with me actually, and we chatted, and that was really nice. Like, you know, it was one of those beautiful things that he voluntarily came to talk to me. So it's not like usually I have to go out and say, "Hey, can you talk to me?" So this is it. So it looks kind of like twine that's wrapped around, and you're right, that's intestines, like small intestines wrapped around and basically grilled. And this gentleman, he made a very good sandwich. Look at that. So he chopped it up nicely and put some beautiful hot, like spicy goodness on it, and that was fantastic, let me tell you. I enjoyed it so much. Before I finished my sandwich, I said, "Could I have another one?" And yeah, of course I could have another one. And then he said to come back and try the kufta. So I'll be doing that. When somebody says to come back and try something, I usually do that. And here's what I had. This is what the previous video showed this. This is the plate. So, I really enjoyed it. And it was a nice quiet moment. Like, it was a fast food place, like a Whole Foods sort of deal, a buffet style. So you put everything on. I was thinking about this. I love to eat. I love to eat so much. Like, I love to try everything. Like, even when I'm with people and they're eating something that I haven't tried, I hope, like, if I'm comfortable, I'll say, "Hey, can I try that?" If I'm not comfortable, I hope that my compliments would, get them to offer me some, just to try. Like, I don't want all of it. I just want hey, let me like a teeny piece. And sometimes I say, "Hey, try this. It's really good," right? So hoping that they would reciprocate. But this project, it mixes like two passions of mine: food and politics, food and nationalism. Right? I am very interested in the topic, but there's something about combining your passion and work that makes it a little difficult to enjoy your passion, because you're constantly thinking and thinking. You're not focusing on the experience of the enjoyment. You're focused on the work. Like, you're focusing on making sure that you see something and you find something, or you kind of made a connection with something. And so that the thinking process, it doesn't help you to relax. And not complaining or anything. I'm just saying that's an observation of mine. But this particular meal, I really enjoyed it. And I looked in everybody's plate and I saw what they were doing. They really like the beans. I think the beans, it's called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a catchy rhyme. Famous bean, Macedonia. Chafe Grachfe. I don't know. TAVCE GRAVCE. It's a bean stew, and it was great. And the top is always nice and crunchy. So I really like that. We'll come back to the Albanian gentleman. We had a nice chat over the food, and he was talking about Albanian irredentism and Kosovo and Albania joining one country. But what was cool about him is that he said full on, like, "Oh, this is what you're eating. The kokoretsi or kokorek is Turkish." Of course, the Greeks claim it to be theirs. The reason why I'm so interested in this dish is because I couldn't get it in Greece. because it's hard to come by because of EU regulations regarding hygiene. It's small intestines, so you really have to clean them good. And I know it's kind of sketchy, but like I know it's probably clean, right? I mean, it's been a couple hours. I'm okay. We'll see. Um, there's some things I'm not going to be doing, obviously. Like, I have to be careful in like places where the water is not clean. So like in India, got to be careful. No salads. No ice cubes. Water in the bottle. Brush your teeth with water from the bottled water, and everything. Well, I'm not too worried. Actually, I am very worried. Everybody I spoke to says that Delhi is not the easiest place to be. So, but the Albanian fellow was a really nice guy, and we had a nice chat. Albanian nationalism is very strong. It's on the rise, but they're well represented in this country, in the parliament, and they kind of Macedonians and Albanian populations had a minor civil war in 2001, but they had some really great changes in the rules of the constitution and language requirements being more open to Albanian. So that's a good sign. Keeping a country together is very important, and making sure that every minority feels represented and included, because if they feel marginalized in any way, they're going to secede. And Albania is right next door, so you have to manage that situation well. You do. It's important. It's a national security issue. The power, you have to get people to realize that they have something here. Like there's a stake. You have a stake here in the peace and prosperity of this country, right? But it's a fine line.